Now, I know this sounds like a wacky tip, but if we're being completely honest, a lot of brands actually already follow this format. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tatiana, and as the title suggests, today I want to share with you 3 different methods that you can use in order to come up with your business name, because I know sometimes we can get stumped on that stage a lot longer than we would like to be. Also, make sure to stay to the end so that you can hear my favorite method and use that to your advantage. So the first method involves a lot of brainstorming, which I know you're tired of hearing, but there's a reason for it. So what you're going to do is you're going to write down all the words that describe your brand. In other words, what is the feeling that you're trying to convey with your personal brand? Are you trying to make it elegant and luxurious, as well as feminine and classy, or are you trying to go more for like the fun, colorful, beachy vibe? In other words, write all of these words down that you can think of. Then we're going to take a look at these adjectives and we're going to try to see how we can combine them to make up a new word. So for instance, if we want to combine elegant and luxurious, we can make that brand name Ella Luxe. Or let's say we have more of like a beachy vibe that's very colorful. We can combine beachy with colorful and make it velour, for instance. So once we come up with that name, what we can do is if you're located in the States, we can go to uspto.gov and we can check to see if this name has already been trademarked. Because if it is, then odds are you're probably going to want to come up with a new name, because if you want to trademark this in the future, you're not going to be able to, and you're going to have to rebrand entirely, which honestly is a much more difficult later on than it is now. So search the trademark database and type in your name to make sure that your business name is not already taken. The ones that are live are the trademarks that are already in existence and the ones that you probably want to stay away from. However, if you find a trademark that is dead, I still would proceed with caution, just because there are certain loopholes that these companies can go through to still claim their rights to that specific brand. So now that we've checked that our brand actually isn't trademarked, we can move forward and check out what domain we want to have. Ideally, we would want it to be the same as our brand name. So in this case, if we're going with velour, we want it to be velour.com. So we're going to check to see if this is available by going to godaddy.com or bluehost.com and searching for it. Now, if it's already taken, don't fret, because we do have some other options here. All we have to do is add another word that makes sense with their brand, and doing this can even help us with our SEO. So take velour, for instance. This is a swimwear company. We can try to get a domain for velourswim.com or velourswimwear.com and go with that. This is still professional, clean, and gives Google a little bit more of an idea of what your brand is about. Once we've checked that one, it's time to look at our social media accounts. So if you're trying to be on Pinterest or Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, any of the above, now it's time to make your account. But first, you want to make sure that your handle is available. Now, the best strategy for this is to stay consistent on all these platforms. So try to get the same handle for all of them and try to make it as simple and as clean as possible. In other words, if you can just make it your brand name, that's probably your best bet. But if not, again, we just add another word to it. So for example, if we're going with Ella Luxe and we're selling luxury jewelry or watches, for instance, our handle can be Ella Luxe Jewelry or Ella Luxe Watches. And usually this will be available. Try not to add any numbers or extra letters. Sometimes this just looks a little strange, and you still want it to be as clean and professional as you can be. So now let's say all that brainstorming still didn't help you. You already tried it. What's something else you can do? Well, method number 2 is using the specific formula that a lot of brands actually use in order to come up with their brand name. And this is using a consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel format. So basically, we're just picking some random letters that fit either the consonant or the vowel category and putting them together. So for instance, we can do S-A-M-O-T-I and make it Samoti. Or we can make it M-I-L-O-R-I-N-I and make it Millerini, something along those lines. It's going to sound a bit wacky, but to be honest, having a made-up brand name is actually generally what's recommended, as long as you keep it short, just because these brand names are ones that are probably not already going to be taken, and therefore you're going to have better chances of getting it trademarked. Also, there's less bias involved because there are less preconceived notions associated with that brand name. And that's something that benefits you because you want to be able to create that connotation for it. Now, I know this sounds like a wacky tip, but if we're being completely honest, a lot of brands actually already follow this format. I mean, take a look at Adidas, or take a look at Nike, or Lululemon, or better yet, Amazon. They all follow some variation of this formula, so try it out and see if that helps you in any manner. So the last method, and my personal favorite, is to go onto a website called namelicks.com. Now Namelicks is amazing because it's free and it's going to give you a whole list of suggestions for your brand name or your company name. All you have to do is type in a couple of adjectives that describe your brand, which if you've been following along, we already did that in method number 1. And then you choose how long you want your brand name to be. Again, generally it's recommended that it's pretty short in order to instill trust and that it's also readable. And it also asks you whether you're looking for a brand name that is made up, that uses already existing words that rhyme, whatever you're looking for, so you really can customize it. And once you click generate, it's going to generate a whole list of names that now you can use and explore. Again, just make sure to check up with USPTO for trademarks or anything of that sort, because again, we want to avoid that situation. And the last thing you want to do once you think you've chosen your company name is to just check with your friends and family to see what they think of it. Write it down, have them read it out loud, see if you guys are pronouncing it the same ways, and see if it makes them think of anything else that perhaps is inappropriate or has some other meaning that you were not aware of. Doing this is just going to help you verify that it's the right name for you, and then you're free to move on. So hopefully one of those 3 methods helped you out and you now have a brand name or a company name. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I can't wait to see you next time. Bye!